for building a house in Roatan, Honduras. We've talked about this a lot. So I've done 4 builds in the United States, 1 major renovation, so 5 total projects, and built 2 full projects in Roatan, Honduras. And let me just say, they're all completely different animals. And a long story short, the first build I had in Roatan, Honduras was a colossal disaster. Went over budget by over 50%. Wrong grit concrete, anything that could go wrong, from the plans to hiring a fake architect to having a builder that can do a really great job, just didn't know how to build the house that I wanted him to build. So things were out of alignment. He was good at what he knew how to do. He just had never built what I was asking him to do. And I didn't know the nuances. And so everyone that's been watching this channel for a long time, the do's and don'ts about building a house in Roatan, Honduras. And the most common mistake is literally what I just told you, is someone that thinks that they are experienced. They worked in the industry. I've been in real estate almost my entire life. I've been crawling under houses for my grandfather, who used to flip houses back in the 80s and 90s. And well, I don't really like spider webs to this day, and I can still feel them on my face. So the biggest mistake is thinking that you can take all of that wonderful knowledge that you have and it will make your experience go a lot better, but thinking that you can do something better or cheaper on this island, or that's not anticipating exactly what is going to happen when you build, tends to be the biggest mistake that I see. I personally made it, even though I thought I knew better. And it's that thinking that we know better. And Roatan has a very hard and steep learning curve. So that's the biggest thing. Can you do it, and can you do it well? I'm standing in, version 2 that has been absolutely wonderful. Best build I've ever had, actually better than anything that I've done in the United States. For price per square foot, it ended up being about $150 per square foot. And right now, and you're looking at custom mahogany and custom, this is quartz behind us. So you're looking at, I mean, it's a very nice house. I would say medium luxury range for the United States. For Roatan, it's in a one of the more luxury-esque, but not, I would not call it a luxury house, just so in regards to fixtures, it's quartz instead of marble. Everything is locally sourced instead of brought in from Europe or South America, or somewhere else, or brought in from the United States, other than the appliances. So about $150 a square foot. So the point being is, the most common mistake that I see when building in Roatan for the first time is not understanding the drastic learning curve that is Roatan, Honduras, and thinking that you can take shortcuts, or that you have a specific skill set that works really, really great in the country that you're coming from. And yes, it does translate, but it's not going to be a perfect match. And there are going to be disconnect areas for that build. So I always suggest having at least 1 supervisor for the build, and then interviewing many builders and seeing all their projects. And here's the thing that's going to kind of suck, is building is going to take longer than you might want it to in the US. I remember, as a kid that I think moved around to 9 different houses, and we usually moved into new homes. They used to build homes in like 3 months. I've never had a house built that fast. This was actually the quickest house I've ever had rebuilt, was 6 months. The longest house I've ever had to have rebuilt was a wildfire burn down rebuild house, and that took 27 months, thanks to insurance and, that being a natural disaster. So things take some time. Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. So let's add one more to that list. And so the thing is the timelines are a little bit longer in Roatan, Honduras. And when you do find a builder, or you think you're going to save money, and that's where I see a lot of mistakes. It's because everything's expensive. So we always want to try to find where we can find the budget, the economy version. And in Roatan, that's just really not what we want to do. Now, yes, you can make changes. Like, this is white quartz instead of, I didn't need Carrara marble. It saved a ton, because this is a level 2 versus a level 5 on the quartz and things of that nature. This, I could have bought IKEA and actually not spent $27,000 on some of the cabinetry and probably spent, I don't know, 12 to 13,000. So there's little things where you can change, but what you want to really make sure is you don't skimp on the foundation and the builders. One of the hardest things is to find a builder because you will see a lot of great builders. We do have a lot of great builders on the island. Every great builder that I know has like a 2 to 3 year wait list because they're busy and their crews are busy, and you want someone with the same crew, not just anyone that will hire any crew and put them together and just throw them on your site. You don't want someone that does that. You want someone that will tell you no, which is kind of hard to find, and they also tend to be a little bit more expensive. Even though I did get this all complete for about 150, my quote was about 102. The only place we went over budget was on wood, which I knew about the entire time. The rest of the things, like the cabinetry, was not included, furniture, things of that nature. So the biggest mistake is trying to cut corners, because you can do those in the countries that you are coming from and it's not a big deal, or trying to get something cheaper. I will say, with, like, just for an example, concrete, use Island Concrete. And I know, and that's, hey, Island Concrete, this is a big promo for you guys, not that it really matters, but hey, if you want to give me a discount, that would be great. I see problems with concrete all of the time. Use Island Concrete. I don't care how much money that you're saving, because when you chip something out, or when you have to redo something, if you have to redo your pool, you have to redo this, doesn't matter. Use Island Concrete. It will be, I see it all the time. I've not seen any issues with Island Concrete that have not been fixed. And so when I say that, there's a lot with what I just said there. I paid Island Concrete for all the concrete work I've had done here. Yes, they are the most expensive, but guess what? They're going to get the job done right, and they're going to get it done the first time. And if for some reason they don't, they're going to make sure it's done right. Oh, there's a lot of other good distributors and other good people, but I'm not doing quality control on them. I'm just telling you the major issues that I see with people that are the most costly, and it tends to be the concrete work, foundation work, and things of that nature, when you're trying to, well, save a little bit of money and do things how you might have been able to do them, or trying to find a builder that does have a good reputation, but they're not using their normal team. They're kind of adding on people just so they can get you in. You want a builder that's going to tell you no, which is also difficult. Difficult to hear, especially if you're an American, and I can say that because I was born in the United States of America, and we don't do well with being told no very well. And also in Roatan, no is not really a common word. Now there's different forms of yes that really mean no, but that's a whole nother master class on the subtleties that the people from the United States of America, we just don't have. It is a skill in which we learned when we moved to Roatan, Honduras. So the biggest thing is listen and taking what you know can be very valuable. Don't take the shortcuts. Use people that will tell you no, that will also give you longer timelines, because if they're telling you they're going to get it done fast, they're going to do this, they're going to skip this corner, or you think you can skip this corner, save a little money here, save a little money there. Yes, it's great to save a little bit of money, but I'm talking about finishings, things of that nature. You don't want to do them from the beginning, or taking a crew that might be from somewhere else that's not experienced in Roatan, because one, you don't want them to just go away. Two, Roatan's a whole different scenario than wherever this other crew is, and you want people that have worked here, this is not their first rodeo, and that they also work with the team, and you want that team to be a major base. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. The biggest issues I see are not having a consistent team, the builder, and cutting corners where in most situations it would be fine. But when you cut those corners in Roatan, Honduras, it's hard to explain until you live it yourself, and you're like, what the just happened? Because you're like, we changed it by this much. And use Island Concrete for your concrete work. So thanks guys for tuning in. My door is always